Hello.
Hello, ladies, gentlemen, people who watch us. I don't know what that includes.
Humans.
That might be a stretch to people that watch us.
Humans.
If I've got these run the wrong way, that's a bad start, isn't it? Jesus, that was
have.
close. Right, so...
That might be confusing.
Yeah, you'd be like, I don't know, get any of this taste
Taste
whatsoever.
any of that, you're speaking rubbish.
So, we're back again with more Drams with these BAMs. We are doing an Aberlour and a Longrow today.
Huzzah!
Yeah, the Longrow, we literally just opened the bottle this second. It's been on the shelf for a wee while, got it at auction a while back, but we'll get to that in a minute.
If you're unfamiliar with that, it's at Campbelltown.
Yeah.
I think it's made at Springbank.
Yeah, I think so, yeah. But we'll get to that in a minute. Anyway, first we're going for the Cask Annamh. So, this is...
The Cask Annamh.
Annamh.
Hey, Atina.
So this is Aberlour's batch release Cask Annamh. This is batch number 4 we have here. It's 48%. It's matured in American and sherry oak casks.
Ooh.
And this was released just after they stopped doing the Abuna. Now, this made the impression that it was sort of maybe the replacement to Abuna. It's now a small batch. It's done, in numbered batches. However,
It's not.
It's
Abuna.
not. No, it's not. It's not Abuna at all.
Abuna was... Abuna, I mean, it started like this.
It was
some of the earlier batches were banging, and then it started to be a little bit like. I mean, it was still really nice, but didn't really have that kind of whoa that those sort of early batches had.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not.
Actually, I only tried the later ones.
Really too bothered about it. Sorry, I'm a little bit rough today. I've got I don't have the COVID. I've just got a cold.
Just got man flu.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not bat flu, it's man flu.
I've just been
Batman flu. Oh,
I've just been getting soaked, like for the last 3 days constantly. Not for fun, but for and I feel like crap.
So we're on. So the first one is Cask Annamh.
These might make me feel better.
So Annamh is Cask Annamh takes its name for the Gaelic for rare cask.
Ooh.
And a trio of casks are used to create impression: European oak, sherry, and 2 types of American oak. So it's like this is where you get the toffee dried fruit from.
Absolutely, and that's something that you're pretty much used to with any Aberlour. You get that kind of Christmas cakey sort of sherry influence.
I think you get.
Let's see how this drink goes first.
Hey, he wouldn't say no. Let's be honest.
Oh, yeah, that is.
You do get that. You get that straight off the bat. You do get the honeyed flavour through there as well.
Loads of honey, dry fruit, Christmas cake, all that kind of
buttery.
nonsense.
A little bit of butter through there.
It's not quite as sort of heavy as maybe like the Abunas were.
No, definitely not. Much, yeah. But then it's a nice nose on it. I think that's quite.
That is quite nice.
Happy to sit and smell that. Quite frankly, just sitting. There's a few whiskies like that where you just sit in with a glass and go for a while.
I really like it, but I mean
Just man flu ruining them.
The old symbiote isn't enjoying it.
You've been watching too much
Stargate.
Right.
I just started referring to my stomach ulcer as the symbiote. He's not liking it.
So go for that.
Spirity on the old nose.
And you get that straight away in the taste, and then it sort of dries away to the bit of a. It's a Christmas, like cinnamon. Oof. Maybe it would be a good Christmas one, really. A good Christmas whiskey.
Oh, that is a nippy little sweetie, isn't it?
It's got a. When it goes down, you get a really nice. The casks?
Ooh.
It's only 48%.
48. Oh, that's a fiery number, isn't it?
Yeah. I think some of that does come from like the nutmeg and cinnamon.
That is really warming. Like it hits the bottom of your.
Oh, you feel it. It's one of the ones that you feel all the way down, and it hits, and you're like, yeah, that's toasty. So I think that's a Christmas dram, that wouldn't it?
Christ, that'll warm me up.
There you go. If you're sitting out in the cold beer garden, don't want the toffee apple malt cider, have a Cask Annamh, and you'll be like, toasty.
That's a big. So I'd like to say dried, fruity, oaky punch. That is, I quite enjoy that.
But the aftertaste is.
It's got like
short. it doesn't last.
Yeah, there's not a huge finish on it. You get a little sort of dried citrusy kind of notes, maybe like orangey or
something there just sits at the back just for a
kitchen
minute.
spices.
Yeah, sorry. One of the descriptors they used was a generous handful of kitchen spices.
What's a kitchen spice? I thought spices are all kitchen.
I mean, well, if it's a spice you use in your kitchen, that could be one of them.
As opposed to spice you put in like air freshener. I don't really understand that, but
no, that's a weird one. So I mean, the finish, I don't know. It's short. I don't find there's too much to it. I get the tiny.
I don't have any of it left on my palate. I still, however, feel it in my stomach.
Yeah,
like,
it warms you.
yeah,
It's a warming one. I think that comes with that. It's just a really boozy, but it's not. I wouldn't say it's too spirity on the taste. It's just a very warming.
Yeah, it's again, like say, warming.
Like you're drinking like a warm syrup,
quite sharp,
and you feel like or when you have a hot cup of tea and you feel it go all the way down. It's like that kind of nice warming feeling. I'm gonna add I know you've pretty much finished yours off, but I'm gonna add a wee drachia of water just to see what it does to it.
I was hoping that first one would make me feel a little bit better.
Touch of water. Smooths it out a little bit. You don't get quite this.
The difference in that is as opposed to saying a Buna though is like that Buna had that rich, thick, super sherriedness. So
yeah,
but water wouldn't necessarily.
Oh, the water doesn't really do much
ruin
to
it.
Buna.
Well, no, but I thought you could add water to it and it wouldn't ruin like that kind of mouthfeel or that kind of thing. Whereas this seems a little bit sort of lighter, a little bit less complex. So you'd have to be careful if you're adding water. But then again,
I mean, I did a couple of drops there. It takes a very slight amount away from the.
It's perfumey, this, isn't it? I would say.
Yeah. So when weirdly, I did this for another video, and it's. When you breathe out and you still got the flavours in your mouth, you sort of get it through your nostrils a bit, and it's
perfumey.
Yeah, fragrant.
Boots counter kind of perfumey.
Yeah, the overdone spirit kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I mean that's nice enough though. If you're looking for something as a replacement to the Abuna, this isn't it. But that's not to say. Yeah, it's not to say it's not good. It's an Aberlour. Generally, they're always pretty damn good, and this is no exception to that.
No, not at all.
It's really good. I like that.
Yeah, I quite like that as well. That's certainly set me in good stead for carrying on. Like, I'm feeling better already.
I think it's hasn't got quite the finish, length in the finish. I would appreciate because I feel like I've been cheated out of it because it tastes nice and now it's all gone.
But then there's no age on it either, is there? So
no,
that is one thing that I find with these no age statements, and you know, if the finish is big, you know, flashy kind of flavor, and then it kind of falls short on the old finish, which is, you know, you can tell in something that's been aged maybe 10, 15 years, and it's just those layered kind of flavors that go on and on and on forever. So when it comes to a bit of age and a bit of thing, rather than these kind of quick as you like,
short, sharp, in both taste and creation.
And well, but, maybe not creation, but you know what I mean. It's a not a lesser version, but sorry, my words just aren't coming today.
To be fair, I've not been able to talk all day.
One of those days where I just can't say anything. Yeah, it doesn't quite have the complexity of something that's been aged
still
for longer.
Very good though.
Yeah, lovely.
You know, and considering the price point between this and Abuna, this makes its mark fine.
Yeah.
The Abuna on our shelf now these days, try to get out of a bottle is a nightmare. So unless you're get it online and the price is a lot higher because it's no longer
Thank you, Aberlour, for making it another wax top that's going to destroy my fingers trying to open every single time.
This one's been alright because I went around it with a knife to cut it. Like,
which you know isn't dangerous in the slightest.
Well, it'd be more dangerous if I'd already had a bottle before it and then started.
Can you imagine you lose a finger opening a bottle at Aberlour and then it ends up being shite? Can you imagine that? At least this is nice.
I think I'd still be a little upset about losing a finger with this.
Depends which one. I reckon if I lost these two, you two don't do anything anyway. So, like, you know, I'd be happy to lose them and still open
the 16, that. I'd be happy to lose a finger over. This, I'd be a little bit mad.
Like an early batch.
It's a weird scale where you
like 21 to 35 batched, Abuna.
Yeah.
I'd cut my left hand off, to be honest.
But then, okay, right. Well, this is an odd scale. Maybe we won't use this scale.
How many fingers would you be willing to lose to open a bottle of whiskey?
Half a pinky for this. Half a pinky.
I reckon anywhere.
The 16 I'd go these two full ones, but half a pinky for this.
I don't play mute instruments anymore. This hand's pretty much useless.
Right, so that's the first one. Second one is a Longrow. Now, this, as I said, has been on a shelf for a while. We got it at auction donkeys ago now, start of the year. So we only just cracked this open today because we've never had it yet. But I'd never had a Longrow before, so I didn't know what to expect. And then a little while back, Nick from Whiskey Shop were dropping off whiskies and he gave me a wee
You're
taste.
speaking really fast.
Am I? Sorry. I'll slow down. Nick from the Whiskey Shop came in and dropped off a few bottles that we'd ordered. And he took in a current core range Longrow, and it was amazing. And we did try and get one of those bottles, but we were just a little bit too late. It was sold out, sadly. But this made me excited to get this open soon, and although that was a couple of months ago, obviously time's a non-existent at this point.
Time has no meaning.
Yeah, I was quite excited for this, and we just cracked it open. I've not had a taste, I've not had a smell, so I say dig in.
Longrow, the peated run that comes out of Springbank Distillery.
There's 3 come out of Springbank, am I right?
Hazelburn,
Yeah, Hazelburn,
Longrow,
Springbank, and Longrow. Yeah.
Maybe Longrow isn't the peaty one. Hazelburn's maybe the super peaty one. I can't remember.
This doesn't smell peaty.
No,
And
Longrow.
no, it must be the.
And then Hazelburn's the peatier
So
one.
yeah, because this is
Sorry.
little to no peat on the taste of.
They do have the peated versions of this. I've tried one before.
I mean,
oh wow, that's lovely, isn't it? It's got some really nice.
Bit of apple in there.
Absolutely, like that kind of fresh fruit.
Yeah.
Like
it's not
cut green apple-y kind of things to it.
Fruit salad.
You get that,
like
so that is that's a wonderful comparison. So that one, you get that dried fruit, your raisins and your dates and your kind of Christmas cakey dried fruits, whereas this is kind of the fresher side of it.
Definitely, yeah.
A light, grassy,
fresh
fruity,
out of the fridge fruit salad, I think.
Something like that,
some apples in there.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Wow, what a difference, eh?
A little bit grainy. Like a sweet grain.
What a difference, eh? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's ended up a really nice comparison between the two, which wasn't really deliberate, but I knew to be very different. You know, one's a Campbelltown, one's a Highland, so they were going to be pretty different. Or Speyside even. Aberlour Speyside.
Nice. That's really nice. Yes. You get down into, like I always say, that sort of cereally, porridgey, oatmeal-y kind of. Oh man, I really like that.
Yeah, that smells fantastic. I'm going to dig in because that smells delicious. Bit of a rough start, but then it smooths out really nicely. Citrusy.
Absolutely.
A bit dry. But really nice that.
See what I mean? That just length of finish, that's staying with you and unveiling little things as it goes, whereas that was kind of before you.
Yeah.
Oh. Booyah.
It's a weird. You get like a sweet, then sour, then
porridge with some salt on it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
That's lovely.
Porridge with salt, I think.
Still get a little hints of that kind of fresher, fruity kind of thing on.
It's not a tanginess. It's a weird
tart fruitiness.
It's a weird mouthfeel. That one. It's like it's a bit hot in your mouth. Did you just chuckle at that?
Really? A little bit. Sorry.
But you know what I mean. That's quite good. That's
that is cracking.
That's awesome. I'm going to be having more of both of these, quite frankly, because those are both really nice.
Absolutely. But I mean, if you want something just out of the ordinary that you'll probably end up loving, that Longrow, go for it. It's really
that
nice.
is fantastic.
Campbelltown's
it's really still sticking around as well.
Campbelltown, to some extent, is still somewhat of a poorly kept secret of like most things from Campbelltown are really nice.
We have a cask strength version of this as well on the shelf. which may or may not get drank.
They do a bunch of different versions of it. There's like a couple of heavily peated ones. I've seen Longrow Red, which is red wine cask finishes, I think.
That's got a... I mean, that finish is still sort of lingering. And it's still a bit of the warm... I think it goes back to the smell.
Honey and...
the grassy.
Honey and porridge. That's what I'm getting now. I'm still ready Breck.
Oh, a nice bowl of ready Breck.
I don't know why I'm saying that.
Breakfast whiskey?
Never tried ready Breck.
Really?
Yeah.
It's lovely.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of stodge.
I can't really argue too much with that. This isn't about ready Breck, it's about whiskey.
The more you know.
Yeah. Okay.
In case you ever needed to make me fucking breakfast. I mean, I shudder to think what situation we might be in where you're making me breakfast. But like, if it ever occurs, don't make me fucking ready Breck, because
I will not drink in the world.
I will not be happy.
I think you'd be more upset you've woken up any place I am in the morning, really.
Who knows?
I'd be fucking upset. Right, there we go. Video done. Just the two quick ones.
Speak for yourself. Yeah.
Those are both cracking. That
absolutely. Yeah, try and.
I'll have to have a go of the Longrow cast strength one, or maybe in the future we'll do another video.
I highly recommend both of them, but if you want to try the new Aberlour, big Aberlour fan, you want to try the new one. It's got everything you might expect from Aberlour with a little bit of new character.
Well, it's got the 16 as well that hasn't really been touched much on the shelf, which is another cracking standard Aberlour.
I've always found Aberlour, the Aberlour 10 and the Abuna and their normal ones are so nice that, what's the point?
Yeah, that's
true.
What's the
point in spending an extra tenner on an 18-year-old when I know the 10 is banging?
The 10 is banging.
That is, and that's not a cool way to be, but at some point you've got to be like, you know what, why would I do that when I know for a fact that this is amazing?
That's why it's good to try it on our shelves, because you can just buy them, nip and go. I've tried it. It's lovely.
I tell you what,
I'm going to go buy a bottle of the 20.
See if I just fired into the bar and I was freezing and I wanted someone to warm it up while I was looking for what I wanted to drink and think about, I'd go for that.
Yeah, I think that would hit the spot perfectly. Or while you sit outside and you're getting a bit nippy, get one of them down you. That'll sort you right out.
Sounds good to me.
Well, there you go. So that's another video. Thank you very much for taking time to watch. This is the first one we've recorded that is specific to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
So people will have seen our YouTube channel. This is up on it. Everything before then has been recorded with the idea that it was going on our Facebook page. Now this will go on our Facebook page at some point.
Now Darren can tell you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel all the time.
I can't do it. You said it, so that's me covered, so I don't have to do that.
Subscribe!
No,
subscribe!
Yeah.
Subscribe!
You're